they say work in silence and then let people know what you're doing once it's done. I've done a couple of those things lately, and it's honestly felt really good.
Welcome to the Coast Podcast. I'm Emily, a virtual assistant agency owner who left Amazon in 2019 to build my dream.
And I'm Whitney, a freelance writer and communications consultant who never felt at home in a cube farm.
We wanted to learn from people who paved their own ways like we did. So we created this podcast to talk to others who are brave enough to pick a different path. Creatives, entrepreneurs, people doing their careers and their lives their way.
Join us as we make new friends, get inspired, and show you beautiful paths less traveled.
Not every road leads to the coast, but the ones that do come with a great view.
We are back with another mini episode. This one is going to be pretty short. It's really just about my Popa and Associates expansion, which I've been mentioning for a while. And Emily and I we meet pretty much every week when we're both in town. And she was teaching me about the admin system that she uses on the back end and how she manages all of the virtual assistants who work for her. And I knew that mine had that capability. So as I was being tortured at an event at Workhorse on Saturday, not actually tortured, just energetically tortured, it was fine. We're fine. If you saw my Instagram stories, you know what happened. We can always talk about it more. It's not a big deal. It's just angry women yelling at me about something that I had no control over, like a broken elevator. Anyway, so I was sitting up there waiting. I was their on-call person on a Saturday. And I was poking around my admin system, which is Bonsai. I've mentioned it before. I love it. It's been working well for me for the past 5 years since I've been on it. It's probably the single best, like, first investment I made in my business to just automate, like Emily was saying in the last episode, automate so much, especially like the chasing of money and onboarding clients and everything. The chasing of money was probably the biggest hindrance in my business initially because it just feels so gross, especially for some of the projects that I was doing when they were only a couple $100. And I felt like disgusting, honestly, having to beg people to pay me. It was so debilitating for so many reasons. And so anyway, they have this capability now that you can add subcontractors. And as I've expanded my team, I have 3 other writers working with me, and we will match them based on the type of project that comes in. I have them organized a little bit on Trello, just like Emily said too. I'm not a super back end like these types of systems. I like Trello the best out of all of them. And I'm just putting their assignments there with their content brief, and we'll use Calendly for kickoff calls and everything. But within Bonsai, I am able to set them up as subcontractors for me and have them go through a flow, just like we were talking about at lunch, actually, where I have a contract that they sign that is through that system. I have a onboarding documents where they fill out their 1099, W-9, whatever it is. I uploaded that for them so that they can give me that information really easily so I can pay them and the IRS likes me. And then also they can connect ways to pay. So they can, even if they are individual writers, they don't have their own business, they can be set up as a subcontractor for me there and send me invoices that I can pay directly, which is just so awesome. And I love that the world has moved in this direction. I have a couple clients in the wings that are about to sign their contracts, and then I will match them with writers. I will still be pretty hands-on, at least at first, in organizing everything until we get in a really good flow and I can create a little bit more systemization around how we work. It's mostly already there. It's just making sure that all of that is really fine-tuned and I tweak it along the way. But what I'm so excited about with this expansion is that I've been working in the background on it for a really long time and kept telling everyone, like, I'm going to announce it soon, or not everyone, a few people. And then when I finally did, it just felt so good and juicy, like I was really ready for it. And not only energetically, but like my business systems were set up, and Emily was a big part of that as well, so that they can feel successful, I can feel successful, and all the people that I have working for me have this really awesome lifestyle writing experience, and they're all parents. Most of my clients have been parents too. And that's not to say that I don't work with non-parents. It just seems like that's where it's fallen for us. And I got to meet one of my writers all in tandem and unplanned. One of my writers who I hadn't met in person, he was a referral from a previous Coast guest. He was here for a writing PR conference, and we met in person. It was so exciting. He is twins. He's been writing with me for about 2 years. We just finished this big project for an engineer launching her website. And we were bonding about how if we can do that, we can do anything, because it's not really like the language that we speak, but we think we did a good job of getting her launched and out the door. And it's really, I've had to work hard to get there mentally over the past several years of changing my brain so that I understand, like when Emily and I first met 4 years ago and she said scaling, it made me irritated because I was just starting off on my own and I didn't want to think about more. And now that I've been able to create something for myself, I want to be able to share that with others. And that's helping more clients, helping more writers. And I love, as a parent, being able to help parents, because what he said to me at that brunch that we had was, I love working with you because you're very clear on what you want and you give me long deadlines. And that's been my whole goal and intention this whole time. Of anybody who works with me, the client understands that actually the opposite of Emily's business, we are not on demand, because I used to be on demand in social media. And so I built a business where I was able to give these just wide roads for people to walk down so that they can be creative and they can have, if they work the day before on something that they have the deadline for, then that's how they work. I do that a lot too. But I know my deadline, even if they're arbitrary, and I always meet it. But having that space to know how to organize my day and my time, especially as a mom, like when things come up, has been so beautiful and juicy for me. And to be able to give that to him and not even speak to it, but know that he's receiving it that way, was really special for me. So every project that we take on will feel that way on both ends for the most part. Most of what I do, and I announced this on Instagram and got to me, like the super weird question of, what is your business model? I was like, what the hell? Like, my business model is, we write words, you pay us for words. It is a service-based business, most of which is on retainer. So most of my clients are asking us to come up with consistent content, typically through their blog, because that goes back to organic search and how people find them on an ongoing basis and they rank in Google and all of that. But often it can start with a project where we're rewriting or writing their website, and then it moves into blogs, or sometimes it doesn't. Like the engineer, she just needed her website. I wasn't even going to offer to write her blogs because it would not be successful for either of us. But that's the kind of thing that people are coming to us for. And then I'm organizing the team and making sure they know their marching orders and knowing that I am accountable to everything. And so for now, they probably will have one-to-one contact with the client depending on the project. But for a small, like a website project, Eric and I worked on that together, and it was very much a team effort. And in that sense, we needed each other to be able to run ideas past. And I'm just so excited that I'm able to contain them in this really nice little system, pay them, make it all legit and not cumbersome on anyone's end, and then continue to serve really awesome clients who are doing something amazing in the world and just don't know how to talk about it. That's really, at the end of the day, what we are solving for and what we do so well. And I was surprised, and I guess it is worth me noting to people who don't understand. A lot of freelance writers are, I don't know, off on some board being paid a few pennies per word for articles that they pitch. That's not what we do. It's more clients come to us or we find clients who need a new website or an ongoing presence that talks about what they do. And then we write that more on an ongoing basis or usually projects take at least a month, usually more, but yeah, it's an exciting thing. And it's been a long time coming. It's one of those things that I've been like, they say work in silence and then let people know what you're doing once it's done. I've done a couple of those things lately and it's honestly felt really good because my like term of the week has been like nobody's muddying the message. Like it's just I'm clear, then I put it out there and it's clear and I have a sense that I'm going to need to continue to just be that way of like very heads down in my wide lane and making these moves to make the world better and to serve in ways that like account for my gifts. And now I have a team that I trust to do it with me. And so if there's anyone out there who needs some website words, come see us because we are taking clients, taking names, moving pens.
Can I tell you just how cool it is that we've known each other for a really long time? Not a really long time, but a long time now. And I do remember, I'm like, what are your plans for expand? And you're like, ugh. And it's just so cool to see how far you've come and like how you've gotten to the place where what you said was like, you're doing this because you, one, can make an impact on your people, but on your team. And that's the notion. And that's like the excitement that made me scale. I could create a big impact for my clients and I could create job opportunities for these people who want the flexibility to be working from home.
Totally.
And that's the motivation and the drive.
Yeah.
That is why I scaled. That's why I continue to scale because I want to impact more people. And it's less about me and my talents, right? It's more about really lifting up other people. And so they can share their talents with the world too. And also we can help our clients too. So it's like this beautiful thing. And it's really fun to watch you get there. Like I love that. It's the best thing and I think I told you this too, is once you let go of nobody else is you.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing.
That's
right?
where I had to get. Yeah.
That's a good thing. And that's something I tell all of my people too, like when they are learning to delegate and let go and build a team, nobody else is you. That's okay. And we need to embrace everybody for their unique skills and abilities and realize the outcome's going to be the same, whether or not you got there the same way. Right. And it's really, I love seeing you grow and it's fun for me. And it's also fun for me when you ask me questions. So like keep doing that.
Yeah. So yeah, keep your eye out for more fun projects from us. I'm still not going to separate my Instagram, but here we are.
Taking over. I love it.
All right. We're going to talk to you about our vacations in the next episode, speaking of delegating and growing.
Bye.